Zoom is owned by China. So, that's why you see almost 450 million people on the big boys and 300 million on Zoom. Now, every once in a lifetime, a generation, I'm obviously a baby boomer, so I've witnessed a lot of different industries come and go. There's always some type of disruptive innovation that happens. I know in the cell phone world, I used to have a couple hundred cell phone stores, and then I remember I was in the primal phases of cell phones, and then Apple invented the smartphone, and that changed that industry on its head. And now, who doesn't have a cell phone, right? So you have our K to K system. That's a disruptive platform. Why do I say that? Because we're doing things that nobody, for some reason, they're just not paying attention to the people that need to make a living by making things simpler for them. So we build in your live links, as you can see to the left of your screen. We built those into the platform. They're easy to custom design. You can brand your company. The links work in the replays. So they will link people to a page, a document, selling your product, selling your service, joining your group, live and in the replay. So you continually keep growing your business without having to do all the work all the time. Then when it comes to premium content, because like that's a Kajabi, right? But Kajabi doesn't do virtual conferencing. And Zoom does great virtual conferencing, but they don't do premium content. So why would you want to buy two if a company has better technology that does it all in one place? And then the P3 system, that one is worth the whole conversation by itself. But when you look at BeeKonnected, we invented the world's first integrated virtual conferencing platform. We call it Care to Connect, or K to K. I say it's safe, right? You can play it safe because here at BeeKonnected, we make it simple, we make it affordable, we make it faster. And the most important thing to most of the entrepreneurs is the efficiency in which they're running their business, right? Getting more people to show up, getting more people to purchase, getting more people to enroll in their product, their service, or their company. Now, real quickly, this P3 system, which is patent pending now, I would have given my right kidney for this type of technology back in the day. And that's why I had to circle the globe like over 50 times. I had to fly to Nigeria. I had to go to Rio. I had to fly into Japan. I had to fly into the Philippines or Thailand to give my speeches. If I would have had this kind of system, I could have better supported my teams, mass amounts of people, because this system allows the leaders of the companies to do all the selling and the signing up, because the software will recognize, because everybody gets their own custom URL to promote. And so if anything is purchased that day, any sign up that day, it's going directly to the person that invited the person to the meeting versus the dreaded phrase, get back to the person that invited you. That phrase, more than anything, kills conversions. And that is what most companies are doing because they don't know they have a choice. But we're going to let the world know that there's a better way of doing business. Now, our new app that just came out makes the cell phone, right, your mobile device, as powerful as your computer. You can do all the functions on your phone that you can do on your laptop. And there's a lot of things here that you can do by just clicking a couple different sets of buttons. Now, it's set up like a Netflix. So if you've ever been on a Netflix, it's very simple to navigate. Now, I'd like to bring on our CEO, our founder, our actual architect of all these amazing ideas. This is a person that obviously has created, sold multiple businesses. She's, been awarded 25 different national and international awards. And the one question she always gets is, which I always like to ask, is why? Why did you do this? What is the purpose behind, this creation, which obviously cost you many years of your life and millions of dollars? And that's because she's completely focused on helping entrepreneurs be more successful. And she was looking for a platform to help support her people, and she couldn't find it, right? There was just too many variables, too many blank spaces in the equation. So she just decided to knuckle down and build the world's greatest social business platform. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of BeeKonnected, our fearless leader, Miss Tanya Hoffman.
Hello, everyone. Yay.
Yes, hands.
Yay. That's what's always fun. Let me pin myself.
Pin me.
Pin you and pin me. Yay.
Okay. So what is going on in the world of BeeKonnected this week?
And it's incredible. Not only just, the small business owners, the influencers, the, chambers, we've all the people that we've talked to, but now we've got even corporate coming to the table going, okay, yeah, let's get set up. Let's go. Especially with the abilities that we have here. I was just talking to a guy yesterday. He's like, I love the buttons. I love that you have these branded area just for my business. I'm like, yeah, because we, want to make sure it's all about, helping people make a difference in their life.
Tanya, in business, I see a lot of people, at least I'll speak from personal experience. When I was a kind of a rookie, so to speak, trying to decide, what company I wanted to promote, what products I wanted to promote, I would always focus on the widget. But the widget without a great marketing system is kind of futile, right? Because now you're just going to work 10 times harder. So it doesn't matter how great the product is, you still need to be able to market, promote, train, educate, all those incredible important things if you're going to work with the public. It's great to have a product, I get that. And of course, our secret sauce, so to speak, is we're here to support the population. Probably got a dual thing there. I was getting
I was like, why isn't it? Oh, because I forgot to do something. It's always user error. It's like, oh, that's right. I'm going to do that real
quick. Now the app is up and running, humming along.
Oh my gosh, everyone, Jill Angie was just like, this is amazing, right? She's on her phone right now and on live. It's like, it makes things simple. Like she was, you were saying it just a minute ago. How can we make things more efficient for your business? And depending on how you do business, we want to accommodate that.
Yeah, when I was building my teams, I always wanted to spend most of my time focusing on my relationships, right? And I expect the technology to do its thing, right? Of course, there wasn't a lot of technology back when I started because I'm old. I still can remember to this day, it was like I think it was 1992. And I remember going into a business guy's office. And of course, the highest form of communication back then was fax machines. But I remember asking for a referral. And normally when I ask for a referral and I'm doing business, people give you 2 or 3 names. You're going to be kind. I remember this guy faxed me over 23 pages of his business contacts. This is a multimillionaire, right? He runs a very successful company. And I was stunned because there's papers, I wasn't in my office when it came in. There's papers all over the floor. And I thought, a tornado had come in and disrupted my office. And I noticed they all came from the same location. And this guy had faxed me 23 pages. Long story short, between the referrals he gave and every time I was writing up a new client, this is if you have a hot product or service. I ended up having like 5,000 referrals in the first 45 days of being in the brand new business. And that was like life-changing to me.
I know. I was meeting with an incredible gentleman who's created a patent pending, item. And every time I would say something, he'd be like, oh, wait, I got someone else, like jotting down, whatever triggered in his mind, someone that he's like, they need to know about BeeKonnected too. I'm like, okay, great.
And so, starting that off, that was a fax machine. And then because I've been around a while, I witnessed like the deregulation of the telephone business. Then there was the emergence of phone cards in the United States, right? And as one industry comes in, another one fades away. Like, because, the kids today, they don't understand what a payphone is, right? There used to be payphones everywhere. You had to wait till somebody got at home or at their office if you want to call them. And then I saw the mobile industry started to take effect. And so I jumped on that. So I jumped in all these industries. And then, of course, when you approached me on the concept of BeeKonnected, I said, well, that's a big business model. And there aren't any bigger business models than the social media realm, right? But again, how can you stand out? How can you get a seat at the table? And you have to do it by having a couple incredibly important things that one of my mentors shared with me. Now, this is a guy that built one of the biggest multi-billion-dollar insurance companies in the world, and we're going back to the 70s. And he said, you got to have a great product, a product that everybody wants, needs, and uses, and you don't have to prod them, right, to keep paying or using the service. Be like gasoline for your car, right? If the needle is almost on E, you pull over and get some gas. Or if you're an electric vehicle and you're running out of a charge, you got to go find a charger. Second thing is administratively, you got to be able to deliver what you promise. Third thing is, how are you going to reach the masses? And again, not to sit here and you know, sound like the old man that I am. You know, I grew up with 3 TV stations.
Yeah.
Now there's thousands, and so it's not anywhere near effective. And then you got print, and you got, you know, obviously the cyber world. So how do you get someone's attention? So these are key issues, right, of being successful in business. Fourth one is money. A lot of people think, oh, if I can start, if I have a couple dollars. No. If you're going to grow and blow up, you're going to need to have money in reserve, right, to go through the transition. And then the fifth one, and this is the one that my mentor says kills most company, is what is the experience at the top of the company? Because if they're stumbling forward, it's a train wreck for everybody else. So anyway, I think they're all caught up now. That's my five-point program that I believe is very important in running a business. And when I'm evaluating a company or I'm helping build a company, I make sure that we're focusing on all 5 things simultaneously. And I'm proud to say that you have tackled all those things. And so now we're poised, if you will, poised to really take off like a jackrabbit. And I know you got your first corporations showing up who have hundreds of employees, who have hundreds of other people that lead to hundreds of thousands of people. And I know the guy you just talked to, he's got a product he believes that will indoctrinate many millions of customers, and is excited to have you as his communication platform.
Absolutely. And that's what it's really about, is, it's just the same problem that everyone has, is how do you market yourself? I think that's what Gil was saying, is how do you get the word out? And with most of the platforms, well, really all of the platforms now, they suppress everybody, and we don't want to do that here.
Right. So I know we'll get back into the show here because I went off script. Like politicians, like come back. You have some amazing guests here this week. Is that correct?
Yes, some of our incredible members. I'm excited to introduce you to this incredible first up. Now, I want to let everybody know how incredible this woman is. Now, I've had the honor to know her since about 2006. And I got to know her really quickly because everybody loves her. She is amazing. She's got an incredible book that everyone needs to get. I already grabbed my copy. She's got it over there on our premium content. And without further ado, Miss Julia Hart, everybody.
Hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can. How are you?
Okay, great. Can you see me? I can't see myself.
Oh, I'll pin you. I'll make sure.
Oh, there we go.
Yay.
Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
How are you?
I'm great.
You're so cute. So when you're looking at everything that you're up to, tell everybody a little bit about, who are you and what are you up to?
So I am a lot of things, which I think a lot of people are, especially nowadays. But yes, I am definitely an author, and that's something I pursue frequently. I really love it. And not only do I love writing, but I love the people that I have met, like in the writing community, and readers. And I didn't really realize, I thought I was the only nerd on the planet for a long time there. And then when I joined like TikTok and Instagram, all these book people started coming out of the woodwork. And wow, there are so many readers and writers out there. And a lot of them are independent. They don't want, if you go with the traditional publishing, then you have to, they pick your cover for you. They pick the name of your book. They pick everything for you. And some of us more creative people are like, nah, that's just not going to work for me. I want to do those things. I have the capability, and I have a whole idea that I want to blossom here. And learning and meeting all of these marvelous people, I just wanted a place that I could hang out with them and meet them. And when I talked to you and I saw this, I mean, I had like all these little light bulbs, because I'm not a big Facebook person. I mean, I get on there so I can see pictures of my cousins and stuff like that. But the group situation, even when I was trying to publish my book, which is about a stripper in a cult, I couldn't write those words on my bio, like what I was trying to, it's a humorous book, by the way. It's funny. It's a funny, quirky thing about a very serious subject, but I couldn't put that in the thing. And so it's nice to just be in an app where I can invite people to come in and we can use adult language, and nobody's going to get, weird about the fact that this is happening. And so I wanted to really use the platform in a way to bring other authors in, to bring readers. And authors need stuff. They need beta readers. They need people to read their book after they're done reading it and go give reviews, so that new people coming in will go, oh, wow, this is a 5-star book. Maybe I'll give it a try. It's not Stephen King. I've never heard of this person, but all these reviews. And so I've created some groups that have those capabilities. And now I'm interviewing authors, and I can't wait, just more and more. And all the people that I know that are like small business owners that paint furniture or make bookmarkers or all the things. I want to interview everybody.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So you see, her energy level is always this way, everyone. So, and your group is called Find a Reader, Be a Reader, right?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of the big group that I have right now, and that's for ARC readers. I also have an independent author appreciation group. I've started another group for crafty people, because I know so many people that love to I'm a crafter. I can't listen to a book unless I'm knitting, or there's a famous line in a movie that says, if I'm not being creative, I'm a menace. There's a lot of people. So yeah, just pulling all those people and show us your stuff. Show us what you love to do. What is your passion?
Yes, yes. And I adore the way that you do your posts, right? It's always humorous. It always makes you stop and think. It's not just being silly to be silly. It's
Right.
mind, it's thought provoking, right? And it's not just buy my thing, buy my book, you really try to get people to engage with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the book for me, I mean, I'm not saying that sales aren't important. They are. But as you know, since when you were with me when I was being a professional photographer and all that thing, people have always been more important to me than money. I figure, if I know enough people and I love enough people and I edify and support and help enough people, that money's just going to flow. It can't help itself. So that's what I do best.
I adore it. I really adore it. Because you've really created such an impact for a lot of people, and I've seen you, we've known each other for a very long time. And then, and it was like, because we hadn't spoken in a years and years. And then you messaged me, happy birthday. And I was like, hey, let's catch up. And then you're like, what is all of this?
Where are we? She's like, it's my site. And I was like, what? Oh, yeah. I was in. I'm like, I'm in.
I love it.
If Tanya's doing it, I'm following her. Absolutely.
Well, make sure you put your group link into the 2 chats. That way everyone can get it. Now, if you're going to put it into Social Biz Chat, everyone there, if you're brand new, refrain from clicking it just because you need to upgrade to become a free member first, or you'll end up just being, unless you want to just be under Miss Julia. That kind of beats the whole P3 system.
Right, exactly.
Well, thank you for being part of this community. I'm so excited that you're here. That just amazing. And I'm so glad that everyone else gets to see how amazing you are.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for the invite and for accepting me into this wonderful family. And I am here for the long run.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yay. So everyone, please connect with Miss Julia, and she's amazing, and you'll be so glad that you did. And now our next amazing speaker is coming up. Oh, look at that, JR. You were like super ready. Oh my gosh. You know, I first want to just thank him for his 30 years of service here in the United States in the Air Force Reserves. What an incredible gentleman. He is not only full of incredible information, he has done so much in the finance industry itself, but he also has the connections that I've never seen before. It is amazing the amount of connections and people who just love this gentleman. You will see right now, Mr. Dr. Joe Webb, everyone, the third. How are you?
Yes. Doing well, doing well. How about you? Good afternoon, everyone in the BeeKonnected world.
Yay.
Yes.
And I know you have an incredible wife as well, who's part of the community.
Yes, my wife's an attorney, so she sort of walked me through this process, and I guess gave it the golden globe as we went through it. So it's a pleasure. The pleasure's all hers as well to be a part of it.
I love it when people come together, you know, as you know, a team, and everyone's like, "Yay!" You know, we both see it, and you know, I'd love that about, you know, the two of you. Y'all are kind of lockstep, you know, and really supporting each other.
Yeah, it's great because we have this. You know, she's an attorney. The attorneys like to kick things around, make sure everything's okay. I may take a step out there, but she won't let me fall. Hey, come back, check this out, take a look. So yeah, we do things that way, but also I love my wife, but you know, attorneys are very analytical as well. So I compliment her and let me go macro on you here, and you do the micro thing, but let me do macro, and we tend to get things done that way. So it is a nice team. You know, we do make a nice team.
I love it. I love it. Now, I know you've come from kind of the wealth management arena. Is that how you found most of your connections? Because you have so many influencers and companies and people you just know, and they're just like at the top of the people. It's just incredible the kind of people you are engaged with.
Yes, I'm not your typical advisor when it comes to that. I also do business consulting. So definitely have the entrepreneurial spirit behind what I do. And I'm always looking for problem solving, because in the space what I do, I'm problem solving, but there's so much more beyond that. So if you are a great problem solver, and I like to trailblaze, so I love innovation, I love problem solving, and I love to share. So between those things, my heart for the community and working with chambers and churches. So there's a servitude thing there as well. The young lady that spoke earlier, you know, the whole idea of serving and solving problems, the manifestation of money and things come with that. So the heart of the folk that I have around me, we all have that same spirit. So it was easy to go out and say, hey, take a look at this, because they knew where it was coming from.
Love that. Love that. So when you're out there talking with people, kind of where do you take them? How do you engage with them about BeeKonnected, or in general?
So yeah, this is I'm not the most Facebook driven person. I'm not sharing my meals and where I am and all that stuff. So, so with my wife, you know, she's had that social butterfly when it comes to these things. So I had her take a look at it. So I find where this makes sense for the individual. So my wife, she does post. She has a nice following. When she puts something out there, people tend to respond. So I tend to hit people where it makes sense for them. So for her, take a look at it. This thing makes sense. She's in the real estate space. She wants to expand that. The business component of it makes sense. For me, if you go check me out on LinkedIn, I am more involved there, but I have a person that's helping me with that. So connecting with businesses, they are there, and I tend to tell them to take a look for what it could do for them. You know, I have an author that's on board here who's connected internationally. Showed him, as you had a person just spoke, they need to connect, as a matter of fact, as we're talking.
Yeah.
Knew where it would fit him. Have people using Zoom all the time. Great alternative to what was being offered here. So everyone that you've spoken to, they weren't handpicked, because everyone on here knows you're all special if you connected to me. But I always come to them on why this makes sense for them, and then the ask is to take a look. So I don't get all excited, hey, because then people tend to step back for a minute and see what are you doing. But take a look at this, and here's how I see. And if some of the meetings you and I have been on, Tanya, I always give the vision on here's how I see this makes sense for you. And take a look at it from that with those lenses. And then so far, it's been pretty good. I've had a few that are really need to unravel from what they're already in, but I haven't had one person say, hey, no, this doesn't make any sense.
Yes. Yeah. The people that meet, they're just like, oh yeah. By the time they get to me, they've already seen the demo. They've already, talked to Mr. Reed. They already found out what is BeeKonnected. And then they're like, this is just a yes. They're like, what else do we do? So you've done a great job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And Mr. Reed appreciates that, because we get to him, he sees, oh, this guy, yes, I have him prepped and ready for these next meetings because of the approach. So as long as you stay within the confines of the approach, we don't want to overhype the thing. This is something that's innovative. It is trailblazing, and it can solve some problems. And it's stick with that angle.
Follow a system? That's crazy talk.
and that's the military in me. See, I am driven systems. It has to be systematized for me. It has to fit, and I tend to fit a lot of things in my table. And I'll give a plug to Ray Harrison, because he tried for 6 weeks, and he obviously successfully did it because I'm here. 6 weeks. Take a look at this. I'm like, man, my plate is full. I can't do anything else. But when I saw it, I saw the fit. I'm Zooming all day. I'm in Zooms, in and out of Zooms, on other people's Zooms. So when I saw the fit, once I looked at it, of course, regrets that I had not looked at it 6 weeks earlier. But I put it on my plate because it fit. It was a natural, organic fit into what I'm doing. So we don't want to shove this into a person's space who's not doing this. But who's not Zooming is now using BeeKonnected. You have a bunch of former Zoomers here today.
Yes, we're buzzing or something.
Hey, there you go. Because I was trying to, and I don't use, I'm glad this is good. I don't say, at least I try, really, really try not to say Zoom anymore.
Right.
I'm not jumping on Zoom, so I'm doing, so I'll say a show, but you said buzzing. We got to come up with something. I like that. We got to come up with you come buzz with me.
Exactly. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being not only a part of our community, because everyone needs more wealth knowledge. And I think you also do some trainings and all on, wealth management and all, don't you?
Yes. And I've learned, that was the thing too, before the pandemic, lots of seminars, and I educate, empower, and elevate you. So it's not just a cookie sheet put together thing. So I do the seminars, I do the workshops, and yes, I teach and empower when it comes to the planning. So those are some things I bring different. And now every family member, are you Zooming? So let's change this. So I'm sharing the link with them. So see all these ways you can actually share the link and just give them an opportunity to decide where they want to do it, how they want to move forward.
Well, we love that you're buzzing now.
Buzzing, I love it. Oh, this is I'm buzzing.
and part of this incredible community. And thank you so much. Everyone, please connect with Dr. Joe Webb III. So that way you can, and his lovely wife, Donnice, she's amazing as well. So thank you so much for being on today.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you for your time.
All righty. Yay. And we're going to bring back Mr. Reed.
It's what is it? Oh, there we go. It's not turning my camera back on. I turn my camera off and I can't turn my camera back on.
Oh my gosh.
All right, it doesn't matter.
You're going to show up PowerPoint anyways.
Now, there are a couple of things that were said there that caught my attention, Tanya, and one was the persistency that Ray Harrison had to apply to get a successful person to come take a look at something.
Right.
So, is that on the screen?
Yes.
So you built a company, obviously, and a lot of times, you know, people get excited about their widget, but how far of a reach does this opportunity go to, right? Now, in other words, how many people can benefit by becoming a BeeKonnected member for free, even, right?
Right.
So the P3 system, that patent pending software, we didn't really give it its due because it's a game changer in the direct selling industry. And you pretty much have carte blanche to go into all these companies and show them how to massively increase their conversions, their sales, their signups, just because it's going to make it so much simpler for the leaders to motivate, educate, and train their teams. And there's no infighting, no cross-line recruiting, all that nonsense. But that's 125 million people. And then I know we keep talking about Zoom, but you know, it's still Microsoft and Google that has still the lion's share of virtual conferencing because it's Microsoft and Google.
Yes.
That's 750 million people. And then of course, social media is almost now to the point where it's almost 5 billion people, users. So we cover all of these different demographics with a simpler version of performing a function where you don't have to jump from one platform to another. Now you selected some price points, and why did you go with such a low entry level?
You know, we wanted to make it affordable for everyone, especially those that are just starting their business, you know, so that way they can grow with us as they grow their business.
And what I like about this, a lot of times people just see the numbers. They have to, you know, if they're paying attention, right? You get multiple technologies, and as your business scales, ladies and gentlemen, in other words, as you grow, you will need more attendees. You will need more software to perform certain functions. Now, you have a special going on right now. What is that?
We decided to give everyone the opportunity to take advantage of the Platinum Plus at the Platinum Plus price. So that way they can get in and experience and get going on this platform and make money at the same time.
Now, we're going to do a couple analogies, but something else happens at the platinum level, and that's where you can monetize your actual own following. And we're going to kind of get into that in our financial reward. So in reality, once you become a platinum member, the system has the ability to actually make you a net profit. So you're not spending money, you're creating a new revenue stream. But let's go ahead and do a little comparison. So obviously the Zoomers, now I'm not talking the low end because the low end is free on both platforms, and then it's like $12 and $20 and the low entry people. But if the people start to become successful, Zoom gets to be very expensive.
Oh yeah. We talk to people every day. They're like, what do you mean it's only $50?
Yeah. So again, you know, this is, by the way, taken right off of Zoom's website. I did a little screen capture there, so I didn't make this up. It was just a simple screen grab, and so that's $3,400 if you have 1,000 attendees you need to put on a webinar. Now, this is not counting their licensing and the lack of storage that they supply, where you have to buy more, right? There's the nickel and diamond people. Now, then there's Kajabi. Now, this is a product that a lot of the people where the world you came from, who are coaches and trainers, what's that all about?
Yeah, there's so many people who have something that they want to share with everyone of their knowledge base, but they want to charge something for it. And there's not a whole lot of options out there. And Kajabi is definitely the, you know, kind of the number one platform. But every time I talk to someone who's a Kajabi expert, they're now a BeeKonnected expert because they're like, Kajabi's so hard to use and BeeKonnected is so simple.
So again, this is a current screen grab. Now, what I'll point out here is, you know, Zoom at least was nice enough to show you what a year would cost, but you have to pay that up front in order to get their lower rate. And Kajabi is still doing its like their most popular is $159 a month. but they say it's billed annually. So again, you got to take 159 and multiply it by 12 if you want that service. Now, again, if you're super successful, you don't really care about these prices because you're making a bunch of money. But it is, at the end of the day, part of your overhead. Now, I will then throw in LinkedIn, because that is the model that I kind of looked at to borrow some of their wisdom, where they have obviously LinkedIn. Most business people are on LinkedIn for free. And then you have choices to upgrade on LinkedIn. I remember LinkedIn has like 1 billion subscribers, and about 30% of LinkedIn has chosen voluntarily to upgrade and give them money. And one of the most popular things to upgrade on LinkedIn is, I'm sure if you're one of these people, you know why, it's Sales Navigator. And then of course, when we started, there was only one Sales Navigator. Now there's 3.
We need more, is what they're saying.
So again, that $99 a month for the professional is if you pay, well, that's if you pay monthly. But then let's just add them all up, right? I don't want to wear people out with math. So that's like over $750 a month, versus you offer more than these 3 platforms for $50.
Yeah.
Usually when I see something like this, I'm thinking there's something wrong with this equation. Right? Yeah. Okay, what's the catch? And the catch is you're a disruptor. You've come in with more advanced technology, and it's more cost effective.
And we wanted to say thank you for the people who are here, ready to ride this wave with us.
Now, here's the most important thing, especially for the Platinum members. One, they're getting a special where we're upgrading their subscription, their membership, to Platinum Plus, and you're grandfathered in. So when we take the special down, how long's the special run for?
Through September 1st.
So when that goes away, so to speak, first off, let me back up here. So when it goes away, it would still be $758 versus $99.95. So it's still 1/7 of the cost. Yeah. But the important part to understand, if you want, it's not mandatory. And that's why we let people kind of soak in what is BeeKonnected and how this technology and the platform can help grow their business faster, become more efficient. Is then you've monetized it so people then can monetize their following. Now, I like to go with the cliche, if you're going to be online and you're going to continue to grow a customer base or a following, whatever you want to describe that as, don't just make it bigger. Monetize the actual following you have. And I'm not talking about advertising dollars from the big tech companies. Right. Because one, the people who only make money in advertising are people that are doing insane traffic, right? They have 100,000, a million people following them to get their likes. We did a training, member, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. We asked people, how many influencers do you think is on Instagram? Right. And nobody came close. No. They were shocked. Now, there's different qualifications of influencers. There's 4 categories. But if you're brand new with us, you might appreciate this. There are 64 million influencers on just one social media platform. Exactly. That is just that is just amazing. So because it's almost 5 billion people, we do have to understand not everybody's doing the same thing online, right? Different people, they're doing different things. Now, there's a lot of tire kickers, people that go on social media just for entertainment or want to argue. But for the people in business, I put them into 3 categories. Number one is the vast majority, right? They're the doers. These are the people that show up and put on a seminar, put on a show, do a training, launch a course. They're actually making the world a better place by sharing their wisdom. But then there's a whole nother category of people. They have special talents, and they're recruiters. So they don't want to end up doing the work the doer does. They're like talent scouts. They go out and find the most successful people. That's their gift. And then the third person, that's kind of where I came from, the direct selling world. We're building something, right? We're building sales teams. We're building armies of people and doing trainings and stuff. And so there's no wrong or right. There's no better or worse. It's just breaking down, because each of these people think differently how they're trying to create their own revenue. So if we talk about money, I want to bring in Robert Kiyosaki. He wrote this masterpiece called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was an international seller, still is. He talks about the cash flow quadrant. And this was a hard lesson for me, because I was like a dog with the bone. Because most of my life I was on this side, right? I was with the 95% of people where I started, coming out of school. I went into the military, and then, I created my resume. And I was trying to sell myself for somebody to pay me a salary, right? And that's how I started my career, like most people do. But then I got introduced to a millionaire, and then I was taught on how to start a business. But if I stopped working, so did my money. And so again, I owned a job, but I didn't have any leverage. And it wasn't until I met a couple more millionaires who kind of got in my head and said, hey, why don't you take a look at this over here, which is a big business model, a business owner, and creating a company or working with a company where I could actually have teams of people. Then you can make more money, but then now you're applying leverage. And of course, the final thing is the richest people in the world aren't working or trading time for money. They're just, their money is making the money. And that's why they always say the rich keep getting richer. Yeah, because they know the formula. So you have decided to create multiple streams of income. Where did that idea come from?
So in 2007, I met a gentleman, Bill, who is a billionaire. And I sat down with him. I'm like, I don't understand how he could be a billionaire and I can't. And then he told me, he's like, you've got to create multiple income streams, but multiple income streams in what you're already doing. He wasn't talking about what most people do, is go become an Uber driver, a Mary Kay lady, and a realtor, he says, do it all within one aspect. And that's what we've created here.
Now there's subtle differences, because obviously we have different options of being able to create revenue, or people can create revenue on BeeKonnected. The first one, A, that is for the self-employed people. Those are the doers that I just talked about. Now you have some subtle differences. So again, when someone wants to do course creation, they want to create a paid membership, or they want to charge for their own training. How much is BeeKonnected take from their stack of money they're collecting?
Absolutely zero.
Now, is that across the board the same on all the other platforms?
No, there's some that go up to 50% of what you sell, they take.
So again, it's more practical to sell your course, your service, create your group, especially if you want a paid group. There's no suppression. So these are little subtle differences. Now, we obviously have limited time on our Saturday show. You might want to get with one of the BeeKonnected experts, and they can, give you a conversation about this. And then if need be, we have one of our key executives that does live demos for people that really shows off the technology. That's David Dubbs, our Chief Content Officer. So that's the first one. You can come here, and if you have a course you're trying to sell, let's say for $999, and you end up selling it to 1,000 people, you made $1 million. So sky's the limit of what you can make in category A. Now, where we become incredibly unique, and no one has done this in the social media realm, is you have actually put this so people, influencers, the leaders, if you will, can monetize their own following per subscriber.
Yeah, because I know Zoom and Facebook's never said, thank you with a check.
It's a different way of thinking, and we'll kind of break that down. But this is a way you can monetize your own following. And of course, it's just 2 tiers. We're not a direct sales company. And then the last one is, for a limited time, you're offering a handful of people to be able to qualify to get some stock options, because in the near future here, you're talking IPO, which is an initial public offer, because obviously that's where most companies end up if they're successful. So here's an example, ladies and gentlemen, of the affiliate program, the affiliate partner program we put together. So here we see two people, John and Jane. Now, John has decided to be a platinum member. Now, remember, right now you would be upgraded to Platinum Plus. And Jane has decided to just join BeeKonnected for free. So obviously, John doesn't make any quote unquote commission because he's just here sharing with Jane using the platform is. Now, obviously, Jane's going to network and do virtual. Remember, she gets her own K2K system, the virtual conferencing platform. She can do some social media. So she's going to build her community here on BeeKonnected. Now, not everybody in Jane's group might want to just stay free. Some of them, and it happens all the time, every day, they want to upgrade. Now, if they upgrade, that is John's first tier. Because Jane is really John's first tier, but she doesn't count. It doesn't stop. It's not a multi-level company. It's the first tier. So there'll be $1.30 to $10 per month per subscriber of all the people in Jane's network that are upgrading. And if a free person tells another free person that tells another free person that upgrades, that's still John's first tier. So it gives John farther reach to build a revenue stream without doing much, right? He doesn't have to babysit any of these people. Now, what typically happens, though, is Jane says, well, hold the phone. You know, I'm the president of my own, you know, Chamber of Commerce, or, hey, I've got a business with lots of people. I would like to monetize my own following. So she upgrades to affiliate status where she gets to make that money. Now, because we designed two tiers, John is not cut out of the work that he has done. Instead, we give him 100% match of anything Jane is creating on her first tier. So let's take a deeper dive into this. So let's just talk about Jane working with the Chamber of Commerce, an influencer, a direct sales company. The goal is always, and I like what Dr. Webb was saying, you know, don't hype it, don't push it, just let them discover it, and then the conversions just happen. Now, if we were to use, let's say, a micro influencer, no, I'm sorry, a macro influencer is a be so technically. I'm sounding smarter than I am. They have, let's say, 500,000 people. Now, there's all kinds of people with large followings in social media. And when the word gets out, they can make money per subscriber. We're looking here at an equation. Now, a couple things are happening. One is Mary is just talking, making videos and saying, hey, come check me out on BeeKonnected. So let's say she converts 1% of her following. Now, she already did the work. She already has the following. You know, this is just making a couple videos and talking nice a few times. And as people come over to BeeKonnected, the residual reward here, because if you do the math, 500,000 people, 1% conversion, you can plug in your own numbers. That's 5,000 people. Let's say they went to platinum. That's 25,000 a month. That's 25,000 a month to Mary, and it's 25,000 a month to Jane. Now, if it was only 1%, when the camera is off, Tanya, I would cry.
I know, right? It's like just one.
So what happens if it's 2%? Well, now you're in the top 1% money earners of the whole country here in the United States, because now you're making about 600 grand a year. Now, of course, this is for illustration purposes only, not guarantee of income. That is better known as a disclaimer. But is Mary happy?
Oh, yeah, she is.
I remember we were talking to an influencer, and they're like, well, of course. Is Jane happy?
Oh, she's thrilled, right? Who'd be
Right. Now,
thrilled?
at this point, Jane is really not here anymore to support Mary, because Mary is obviously already an influencer, has learned the system, and she will continue to build and monetize her own following. Jane then has passive residual income, and she can just, you know, take a chill pill and go on vacation or go get another one. What if let's do some crazy talk. Let's say an influencer comes in here and is very aggressive, and they convert by 5%.
Right, because it doesn't stop. You know, yeah, the first initial might be 1%, but it's not like then they stop talking about it, you know?
Now, here's my point to the people listening, and this is more for the people who have been with us for a while. You got to earn the respect and the trust of these influencers. They're not going to fall down and say yes. As we heard Dr. Webb, right? Very successful guy, his network, he knows so many incredible people. And I remember what he said, and it's the dialogue you're going to hear. My plate is full. But Ray Harrison's like a little kid, you know, in the checkout line that grabbed a candy bar and he's not letting go. And his mom has told him put that back and no like 5,000 times. But the kid's like, this is my candy bar and I'm taking it home.
Right.
And so he was persistent, is what I'm trying to say. And of course, then Dr. Webb looks back and says, wow, I wish I would have listened 6 weeks ago. But that's no fault of him. What I'm saying is that's how life happens. That's how successful people act. They've got a business, they've got priorities, they're chugging along. And if you're trying to knock on the door and wanting to step into their home, you're going to have to raise your game up. But what is one influencer worth to you on the BeeKonnected platform?
You're looking at the numbers right there.
That's life changing, ladies and gentlemen. Now, remember, I said there's 64 million influencers just on Instagram. I'm not talking about the influencers on TikTok and YouTube. They're out there by the truckload. We're talking tens and tens of millions of people as we convert people over to a superior platform that has more technology, all in one place, all in one app. And then at the same time, we've monetized it. Now, the grand prize here is, you know, now this, we have to be very cautious because it's a big world. And so I just said 64 million influencers, and you're offering only 20 seats at the table to qualify to get preferred stock prior to the IPO.
Exactly.
So you can become a VIP elite by converting collectively, and I stress that word collectively, a total of 10,000 people on BeeKonnected that have upgraded using one of three strategies. It could be your own personal following. It could be you recruiting other influencers and leaders in Chamber of Commerce and use their volume as your volume. There's a 50% rule that says you can only use up to 5,000 of any one person's organization. So it take two instead of one big producer, or it could be a combination of 1,000 people. And then C, the combination of A and B combined. And then, of course, we've already talked to a lot of bankers and lawyers and all that stuff that you know how much I love, Tanya. To say, okay, what are we valued at, right? Because we have investors giving us money, and they're always asking that question: what's the evaluation? So we know when we have 1 million, and that's not a big number, we have 1 million paid members, the evaluation, according to them, would be approximately, conservatively, $2 billion. Right. So if you're one of these top 20 VIP elites, your stock going into the IPO will be somewhere 2 million to 40 million. That's the good news. The bad news is we're not going to do an IPO till we get to 10 million, which means we're back to good news, is you have to put a zero behind everything.
I like extra zeros. Everyone else love extra zeros.
Now, at this phase, especially, and I encourage all the people who have been with us for a while, what are you waiting for? This is revision 10.9 of our presentation material. You should be giving your own presentations, right? And just walking through this simple format. There's three kinds of people. There's a no. There's the people that say, I want to be, you know, at a free level, a basic level. And then there's people saying, hey, I'd like to take advantage of the special, and I want to monetize my own group. And so that kind of concludes our little visual support here on the BeeKonnected Saturday show. And we want to always say thank you for your time here today. Let me see if I can get back. I don't know if my camera, for some reason my camera is being, it's my camera, not the system.
And stop sharing.
Are we back?
We are back. But yeah, your camera says that it's not on.
Well, let me do the old plug and unplug.
Reboot.
It should. Nope. Okay. It's just being difficult. Okay, so any final words here today there, boss, for the group?
Absolutely. So don't forget, right after this, we've got our experts ready to do a live, answer questions, answers, so if you're like, oh, I want to, be on with someone, just hang around and you can click on the next show coming up. But yeah, this is the time to connect with everyone and start building your community, because we have a massive amount of people now that the app is ready that are ready to come over and bring everybody. So this is the point that you don't want to miss out on to build your community and help so many people.
All right, everybody, we appreciate the time here today. You have a wonderful day. As always, we appreciate you. We love you. Until next time, God bless.
Bye, everybody.
Recording has stopped.